Good news, horror fans, 2018 is shaping up to be a banner year for spooky and spine-tingling video games. From groundbreaking zombie shooters to vampire RPGs, there's something for every Fright fan in the new year. Here's a look at some of the most promising and chilling titles so far. Overkill's The Walking Dead. Like The Walking Dead zombie hordes, Overkill's The Walking Dead is proving very hard to put down for good. First announced in 2014 with a message from Walking Dead creator Robert Kirkman, the first-person survival shooter from the studio behind the Payday series was originally scheduled for a 2016 release. Now it looks like The Walking Dead will finally shamble onto Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC in the second half of 2018. Fingers crossed, because Overkill's The Walking Dead promises not to be your run-of-the-mill zombie shooter. It challenges players to survive the zombie-ridden wasteland using a combination of action, stealth, and resource management. And like Rick Grimes and his followers, you won't be going it alone either. While you can play solo, cooperative multiplayer will be the main focus.
I'm happy to say that it is the co-op game that all the Walking Dead fans have been waiting for.
State of Decay 2. Need more zombie action in the new year? State of Decay 2 is sure to please Walking Dead fans, especially those that enjoy the survivalist aspects more than the gore. Like the first game in the series, State of Decay 2 forgoes active zombie hunting and asks you to stay put, hunker down, and build a base that can protect you and your followers from the undead horde. That's easier said than done, and every choice you make has lasting consequences. You'll need seeds and equipment to grow a garden and feed your crew, for example, which means leading excursions into town to secure supplies, which means facing swarms of zombies. Maybe you should focus on building a guard tower instead. It's up to you. That kind of variation is what makes State of Decay 2 so compelling. You'll never play the same game twice. Look for this Xbox One and Windows 10 exclusive in spring of 2018. Metro Exodus. The Metro franchise doesn't have the name recognition of games like Dead Space or BioShock, but 2018's Metro Exodus, available on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC, might change that. In a post-apocalyptic world where nuclear fallout has forced humanity to retreat to underground subway tunnels to survive, players fight their way out of a mutant-filled Moscow and cross the continent in search of a better future. Like the previous two games in the series, players still need to engage in meticulous stealth-based challenges and fast-paced combat to survive, and gathering vital supplies is still a big part of the experience. But Exodus shakes things up by combining linear levels with new, open areas for players to explore. Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night. If you miss those traditional 2D Castlevania games Konami used to crank out at a regular clip, longtime Castlevania producer Koji Igarashi has you covered. His Bloodstained Ritual of the Night isn't an official Castlevania game, but it might as well be. Like Castlevania, Bloodstained stars a cursed protagonist who explores a spooky castle filled with demons and secrets. You'll amass a wide array of weapons and face all kinds of monstrous foes in your journey, while robust RPG-like leveling and crafting systems will ensure that Bloodstained never gets old. And yes, while Bloodstained is a Kickstarter-backed game, which have disappointed in the past, don't let that turn you off. Igarashi and his crew say they purposefully delayed the cross-platform crowd-funded title until 2018 in order to make sure Bloodstained: The Ritual of the Night lives up to its potential. Code Vein. Mix Dark Souls with vampires and what do you get? Okay, well, Bloodborne. Throw in some anime-inspired art, however, and you end up with Code Vein, an upcoming horror action title from Bandai Namco, available on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC. Code Vein wears its influences on its sleeve. Producers aren't shy about evoking the Souls comparison. And why should they be? Dark Souls combat is just as thrilling as it is difficult, and you'd be hard-pressed to find a better model for an action RPG. But Code Vein isn't just a knockoff, and that's where the vampire elements come in. Players can suck their enemy's blood and then use the supercharged fluid to unleash special attacks, buff their character's stats, and access all kinds of other supernatural powers. Days Gone. If you've ever watched Sons of Anarchy and thought it'd be better with monsters, then Days Gone is for you. The upcoming PlayStation 4 exclusive details the adventures of a biker gang turned survivalist group in the Pacific Northwest in an open-world adventure that takes cues from Tomb Raider, Grand Theft Auto, and The Last of Us. As Deacon St. John, you'll traverse the decimated Pacific Northwest's varied terrain on foot and by motorcycle, attacking enemy outposts while making sure your gang remains on top. The monsters will make that difficult. Set 2 years after a plague ravaged the Earth and killed most of humanity, the world of Days Gone is filled with zombie-like creatures called Freakers. Freakers aren't your typical undead foes either. They don't just shamble or shuffle. Sometimes they run, and they're really fast. In addition to many human enemies, St. John will need to outmaneuver and dispatch swarms of hundreds of freakers, all while making sure he's got the resources he needs to fight another day. While the specifics of Days Gone's story remain elusive, the technology on display in the demos alone is undeniably impressive, making this one of the most anticipated titles of the first half of 2018. Plus, it's likely the only game of the year to feature a weaponized grizzly bear.
Just back up. Nice and slow. Don't make us.
Thanks for watching. Click the looper icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus, check out all this cool stuff we know you'll love too.